It's March Madness time. Well, have some Red Bull, some coffee.
It's a perfect way to show how crazy these past couple of months have been.
They are the big contenders for the tournament. Haven't lost a game yet. I like Arizona.
Arizona's a good team, a tall team, a fast team.
Incredibly stacked conference, the SEC.
Baylor won the game, and that's a 18-year promise, like you said. And Scott Drew, that's an incredible story for him. And
I just feel there's going to be a big upset, and
so yeah, I think it's an easy pick.
Hi, this is Andrew Utz, the winner of the Outsiders Opinions inaugural Bracket Challenge, and you're listening to Kevin and Austin.
what's up, y'all? Welcome to our NCAA Opinions of the Week. Another weekly thing. Make sure to check out our previous videos. We did one without our expert, then we got our expert back on. Make sure to check that out. It's really fun. And the man dribbling the ball, shooting from the college 3-point line and normal 3-point line, Austin.
Yeah, there's been some crazy games, Kevin, already this year. James Madison, who's having such a great college season in all of their sports, let alone just basketball. But Michigan State, if you remember, Kevin, we were talking to Jake. What happens if they lose this Duke game? He says, don't panic. Even if they lose the Butler game, don't panic. Well, they did lose the Duke game, and now they're 1-2 to start the year, and their one win is against basically a no-name team. Another big loss yesterday was UC Irvine beat USC, and USC was supposed to be really good this year, and UC Irvine beat them 70-60. And UC Irvine was already 1-1, so that's a pretty big loss.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm seeing it, and it looks like Kansas barely beat Kentucky, in Kentucky 17, and yeah, it's pretty insane. And yeah, I'm looking at Colorado, Florida Atlantic destroyed Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, Eastern Michigan is not going to be good again this year. They were bad last year with Monty Bates. The way they run their offense and defense is just bad. Creighton beat Iowa in a close game. Like you said, Kentucky, Kansas, that was a great game to watch. Same thing with Marquette, Illinois. Illinois, I'm pretty surprised that they're as low as 23. I felt like they should be a little bit higher, but that was obviously a good game. And then the day before that, Penn ended up beating Villanova. So Villanova, ranked 21, lost to Penn, who was unranked. So there's a lot of these unranked teams beating some pretty highly ranked teams early in the year.
Yeah, and like unranked playing it pretty close. Like Miami barely beat FIU. So it does seem like March Madness, and I think a lot of it can be turnover. With teams like Tennessee barely beat Wisconsin a few days ago, 80-70. But yeah, I think it's just I think Baylor struggled at the start of the year when they won the championship, but that was the COVID year. I'm not sure. I think Kansas started off pretty hot, didn't they, at the start?
Yeah, they weren't the best team in the nation right off the gate, but they were still pretty good. You can't lose, I think, too many of these games to start out because they're right before conference play begins, and some of the games are going to be against tough opponents, but also at the same time, like this is where you get your team ready.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask, like, what do you think about the start? I think it's all just about learning, and we'll have to see. And I think it's great right now, because maybe we do see these teams differently, and like I'm not really sure. Has an opinion of yours changed dramatically from one of these games?
Not yet. I'm Duke lost to Arizona. I think Arizona is going to be really good this year. But Duke obviously beat Michigan State. I think Michigan State should fall out of the top 25. I don't think they deserve to be in it. Some of these, I mean, I've liked how like Texas looks good, Arkansas looks good, Purdue looks fine. Some of the games that are going on right now are interesting. Like for example, right after we finish recording, Rice will play Texas, and Texas should win pretty handily there. And then Hawaii beat another Hawaii school. But I think a big problem with these early games is, like you said, turnover. A team that lost their either star player or head coach or something like that makes it harder to start out. But like a team like FAU, who had all of their starters returning, it makes it easier for that to happen to where you can win games early. I'm kind of surprised at some of the big losses that we've seen this year, like SDSU, who made the final last year, ended up losing that one of their first games this season against BYU, and BYU didn't make the tournament last year at all. So, but that's also because they've lost some of their best players, and that's the turnover that you were talking about.
Yeah, and I was also thinking about our uh, March Madness experts. One of his favorite teams, Mizzou. They dominated one game against some team, and then they struggle in Memphis in the second half. Um, and they've got a lot of transfers, but they lost their main guy, Kobe Brown. So it's something we'll have to see. But then you also have Arkansas, who you've got your man Trayvon Brazil, who dealt with injuries, and Arkansas is ranked 14 so far.
Yeah, Arkansas looks good, but they're still. We have to see them against a good team. At the end of the month, on the 29th, they play Duke, and I'm excited for that game. Uh, Arkansas plays Stanford next, so that'll also be a good game to watch. I'm excited to see how far James Madison keeps rising. They are 3-0 to start the year, and they've looked dominant against those non tournament teams, because the other two teams they played this year were tournament teams, but they play Radford next. But against Howard, they absolutely destroyed them, beat them by 21. And then, uh, like I said, on the 17th, they play Radford. And they've made some tournaments before, Radford has, but they've never been that good. And James Madison is looking like one of the best non-power 6 schools in the country.
Okay, yeah. I think we'll have to look at all those, and I don't really have anything else, so I'll let you take this one and close it out.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. What teams are you guys looking forward to watching this year? And please catch out in our next video.